What if I told you an 18-year-old kid just put his Mercedes on pole at Suzuka twice in a row, and the four-time world champion didn't even make it to Q2? That's not a hypothetical, that literally just happened. Welcome. If you're not watching what Kimi Antonelli is doing right now, you're missing out on the most interesting story in Formula One. Suzuka, one of the most demanding circuits on the entire calendar. It rewards precision, it punishes mistakes, and it absolutely exposes you if your car isn't dialed in. Coming into qualifying today, the story everyone expected was Max Verstappen. He owned this track, 4 consecutive poles across the last 4 years at Suzuka, a record that felt almost untouchable. But qualifying never cares about records. What we got instead was a masterclass from a teenager who seems completely unbothered by the moment. Kimi Antonelli, 18 years old. In just his second season of anything resembling top level motorsport, he looked on the pace throughout the entire qualifying session. Not just fast in pockets, but consistently fast. The kind of fast that tells you it's not a one off lap. In Q3, he goes out on his first run and absolutely plants it. 1 minute, 28.778 seconds. Provisional pole. Then on his final lap, he can't improve. But here's the thing, he didn't need to. Nobody could touch the first lap. Back to back poles, China and now Japan. This is not a flash in the pan. This kid is the real deal. And he puts his Mercedes in a fascinating position because sitting right behind him in P2, just 0.298 seconds back, is his teammate George Russell. Think about that dynamic for a second. Russell is a seasoned race winning Formula One driver, and the rookie is beating him to pole. You can imagine the conversations happening in that Silver Arrow garage right now. P3 goes to Oscar Piastri for McLaren, closest challenger to the Mercedes pair. Piastri has been quite excellent, and P3 at Suzuka is another solid building block. P4 Charles Leclerc. Ferrari looked like they had something going. Leclerc was setting up for a genuinely quick final lap and then snap of oversteer. Just like that, his lap's gone. P4 instead of a potential podium position. In F1, tens are everything. So is tyre management under pressure. Lando Norris in P5, McLaren getting both cars into top 5, which matters for the constructors' battle. And then P6, Lewis Hamilton in Ferrari. At Suzuka, his second season with the Scuderia continues to be fascinating to watch. He's getting there. Not quite at Leclerc's level yet, but he's in the mix, and that matters. Now, Max Verstappen. Let's talk about it. Out in Q2, P11, eliminated before the top 10 shootout even began. His record of 4 consecutive poles at Suzuka are gone. And it wasn't close. He wasn't just pipped, he was out. His own words after the session, the car was completely undrivable. That tells you everything. This isn't about Verstappen losing his touch. This is about a Red Bull that is genuinely struggling for pace at the moment. The team that dominated 2023 and much of 2024 is clearly going through a difficult development cycle. And when the car is undrivable, even the best driver in the world can't magic out of thin air. The question going into the race now is, can Verstappen make something out of P11? He's done it before, but Suzuka is motoristly hard to drive. The grid positions matter here more than anywhere else on the calendar. Let's do a rapid fire through the rest of the qualifying story. Pierre Gasly in P7 for Alpine, quite impressive. A reminder that Alpine have better machinery than their constructors' position suggests. Isaac Hatcher, P8 for Red Bull. The rookie holding it together even as his teammate doesn't. One to watch. Gabriel Bortoleto, P9 for Audi. Another rookie, another solid qualifying. Arvid Lindblad rounds out the top 10. Down the order, Carlos Sainz finally gets past Q1 for the first time this season in the Williams. Small win, but a win. Fernando Alonso out in Q1 at the back. In an Aston Martin that simply isn't giving him what he needs right now. When we've got a double world champion getting knocked out in the opening segment, there's a conversation to be had about where the team is going. And the Cadillac cars of Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas, both out in Q1 as well. The new team is learning on the fly. That's expected. But it's still striking to see Perez, a former race winner, at the very back of the grid. So what does Sunday look like? Antonelli on pole, Russell on the front row, a healthy Mercedes 1-2 to start the Japanese GP. Piastri and McLaren pushing from row 2. Verstappen buried down in P11 with a car that felt almost undrivable. That is exactly why qualifying matters. This is why we tune in on Saturday. I'll be back with the full race coverage after Sunday. If you're new here, this channel is where we break down motorsports without the bluff, just the stories that actually matter. Do you think Antonelli can convert his pole into win? Let me know your thoughts and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you after the race.